Good luck.
Let's go.
For the first time in history, I remember to turn on the timer.
Wow. The dawn of a new day.
Oh wow, Shaddy is really committing to green today.
I like it.
He knows what holiday it is. I guess.
And Muri's got purple cloak? It's hard to tell.
I think so. It's definitely... It doesn't
That's
look
actually not a bad idea. Have people wear the custom night cloak for whatever color they're going to be on the board.
Oh, that would actually be kind of cool. Then you wouldn't need the frames either, but racers also have a really bad habit of waiting to the last minute to decide their colors. And
Yes, that is very true.
Well. I think it was Velocity once that changed it in the middle of a race. Or in the middle of King's Pass, at least.
It very well could have been. Anyway.
Let's see.
Yeah, you might want to reveal your bingo sheet for the stream.
Oh, yeah. My bad. We do get the first Geo chest, the False Knight chest.
200.
Not great, but...
The bingo sheet is revealed for every person individually, so Hamothides just being lazy and not clicking on it.
Yeah, I forgot. In all honesty, I was so excited for remembering the timer.
Remembers timer, forgets board. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Any first impressions from this board?
A couple of good options for forcing early goals, especially in column 1. The Stag Station goal and the Brooding Malik goal are very often picked up as first goals because they're available so early. Also could see Mantis Lords. Maybe 5 corner for locations, but I doubt it. And there's no randomized goal, so one of these 3 will probably be the first goal. Not too many random goals, actually, when you look at it.
Yeah, it's really not bad at all. I mean, there's a couple longer goals, like Trader Lord, Monomon, Lost Kin. Hera is a little ways out there. But otherwise, this board doesn't seem too bad. Coliseum Zone's pretty terrible, but...
Yeah, a few of the longer, more static kind of goals. Obviously, we have... Isma's requirements and Shade Cloak requirements and stuff like that, but stuff which you feel a bit more confident that you'll be able to find than, I don't know, Deep Focus and Quick Focus, which is here in the center. But yeah, looking around just at the border, I think column 1 looks pretty nice still. Monarch Wings tends to be very findable, especially if we don't find Claw. Then, of course, Elder Bug, another really easy one, just requires dive and vertical movement.
The nice thing, though, is that a column 1 pickup by either of the racers is not going to pin their opponent really all that much on column 5. I mean, column 5 isn't terrible in its own right either.
Actually, column 5 is really right about par with column 1 when you break it down. It has these 2 guaranteed goals, Mantis Lords and corner for locations, a dive goal with the 420 Geo Rock to compete with Elder Bug, and then a Wings goal with Stagnus to compete with Monarch Wings. So that would be a very even start. Then awful goals, Coliseum Soda and Trader Lord.
Yep. This board has a good mix of like really quick, easy goals, and then also a lot of very long goals too. So
yeah,
really not too bad all the way around.
You look at the second lines here, column 2 and column 4. Like they each have like 1 or 2 good goals, like the L2, Hornet 2, 5 Wanderer's Journals, and everything else could take an eternity. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. We probably won't see like either player get off to a huge lead like we had yesterday.
Yeah, the sides seem very balanced, but as part of that too, if one player gets a little bit ahead and gets a snipe all the way over to the other opponent's side of the board, they could
True.
potentially lock them into some of the longer goals that it takes to get out of their home row.
And if, assuming we do end up in columns, column 3 will be very huge, considering it only has one guaranteed goal.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we will end up in columns. I don't see how we wouldn't, to be honest.
yeah, it would take like a wings mark, followed by someone deciding to force it into rows, I think, is the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Wings into Mantis Lords, maybe.
I just can't see someone not going to Brooding Moloch somewhat early.
Yeah,
It's happened though. I mean, people have left it for like an hour, so.
But that really is so tempting in this situation. It's what, a couple minutes at most. Actually, Moloch only takes like 1.5, I think.
Yep.
So really fast to lock yourself into a favorable side, not leave anything up to chance. Still no items though, just Geo at the Geo chest.
Oh boy,
Dash start.
that's a good find.
Very interesting. We'll see what Muri opts to do. Shaddy bought the Stag Station, so he can go into Fungal. Muri can go into Fungal too. Just kind of a risky play here since he'll have to backtrack to Crossroads Stag now. But he has the shortcut open, so it's not a huge time loss.
And Shaddy's going back anyway.
Yeah, interesting.
This would be like a perfect. This would be a perfect scenario for this very rare
like
use of that Stag Station early.
Like opening Crossroads Stag early loses 20 seconds or so, and like the reason why you do it is to give yourself this option to head into Fungal or Green Path while you're on the left side of the map.
Maybe he just feels he doesn't have enough Geo to check Leg Eater.
Maybe. Obviously, the other shops are much more affordable without that 86 Geo toll.
Right, and there's nothing there anyway, so...
Just Fragile Heart. In its vanilla location. But, too expensive for Muri to go for.
Yeah, that's one that you buy if it's like in the hundreds, but 310 is definitely not worth it.
Yeah,
especially when you haven't checked the other shops.
Yeah, I would buy that as a last shop item, but not as a first shop item, I think is a good way to put it.
I like this early divergence though. We'll see if it pays off for Muri, but I mean, with Dash being available so early, there's probably no other progression in the shops. I mean, there very well could be still, but it's less likely that there is now.
Yeah, there's what, 5 items accessible between Fungal and Green Path, and all of those items are weighted heavier in progression than the shop items now.
Yep.
Not to mention they're starting with so little Geo that Shaddy might not be able to afford shop progression. Wraiths. On the expensive side. Or not exactly expensive, that's actually average, but...
He buys it too.
Yeah,
a little curious.
Gonna lock himself out of basically any Sly or Zelda purchase now, unless it's literally the cheapest possible.
Yeah, what percent chance is that? Like 2%?
Yeah, I think it's a little under 2%. I think it's 1 in 51 if the bounds are inclusive. Which I don't know. I don't know anything, so I don't know if they are.
I don't think I've seen a 500 item before, but I've seen plenty of 100 items, so...
Wait, did I say 1 in 51? It's 1 in 41. So, like a little bit above 2%. As though that matters.
Yeah. The point is that the percent chance is paltry that he's going to be able to afford anything.
Alright, Strength, Hive Blood, Shaman Stone, a couple of interesting options out of Zelda, nothing that he's really going to feel like he's missing out on for the moment, but good to remember. Alright, Quick Slash, Defender's Crest, and Fragile Greed. Still nothing essential. No goals on the card. Wouldn't save terribly much time at the moment either. Though I do think, yeah, like one of Quick Slash or Fragile Strength would be better to have than Wraiths in this situation. Probably.
I think so. I mean, Wraith is good damage, but I mean, Fragile Strength is really good damage, especially early.
Yeah, Wraiths is kind of tricky to use, especially compared to the going all in on a nail build without any other spells.
Did we even see a complete fungal check from Muri?
No, I believe he backed out and went to the stag station.
Interesting.
Opened the shortcut back there. Yeah, maybe is thinking about, or maybe Muri was considering going for the Kings and Queens station, and now he's thinking about Malik? No.
Not doing Malik. Where's he going? Maybe to get the Crossroads stag now? Looks like
yeah, it looks like maybe he thought he had it. Though he could have just save quit back to Mound if that was his goal. I do always like to see this play from that Shaddy is making, doing the Dark Room even after you have progression, because you just can't always count on finding the materials you need to shade skip, and Resting Grounds can really be loaded. Really useful stack too, in case they find Dive later.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that a little bit, but
Yeah,
that's just personal preference, I think.
As we discussed earlier, this is not favored by the algorithm. Assuming Mothwing Cloak was the first item placed in progression, these items are much less likely to have received anything.
Especially since he doesn't have Dive yet. I mean, if he had Dive, I would like this a little bit more, but since he doesn't, this seems like a bit of a waste of time to me.
Yeah.
I mean, making it through the Dark Room with Dash that quickly makes up for it a little bit, but I think you can bank on progression not being here and then come back later when you have more items.
Yeah, but I think that this is the kind of situation where going backdoor into Green Path is probably what you're expected to do.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, with those 3 items all available pretty close to each other, not a bad play at all. Not to mention a lot of Geo there too. But right now, we're kind of equalizing as Murray's going to retread all the shop checks. Kind of interesting play considering he lost so much Geo in Fungal. Shopping at Leg Eater.
And getting the stag and then not even continuing to... I'm confused by this play, to be honest.
Yeah, like I feel like if you bail out of Fungal, you go to Green Path. Or like if you're going to Queen Station.
Must have just been eating in the back of his mind that he hasn't checked these yet. I don't know what else could cause him to come back to the opening area.
Yeah, the thing you have to remember about the shops too is that it's a lot of items at the shops, but most of them get placed at the very end of the logic cycle as like a backfill for all the empty slots.
Right.
So...
You got Balder Shell. Damn it, Dash Master's at 900. And Dream Shield.
Dream Shield, so not going to be seeing much essence farming for those. Oh yeah, it's going to continue making claims about, oh look, there's Dive. So,
well,
this is that situation where if you don't go to Resting Grounds, or if you're waiting for Dive as your queue.
Yep.
But of course, it's randomizer. It goes both ways. We could still have wings at Hornet. Is that Shaddy's first or second corner for location that he just checked? I should keep notes.
I believe that was his first, actually. I don't think he checked the one in Crossroads.
Okay. I didn't see it either.
I don't think either of them did, actually, the one in Crossroads.
Okay.
Muri heading back down to Queen Station. So actually going to clear out Fungal now, probably.
And ultra early Shade Glook. Kind of
Wow.
useless, but that is an item. Of course, in the old version of the randomizer, it would already be trying to force something into Sharp Shadow, even though you can't get there. Thankfully, we've patched out stuff like that. You can get a good ways from the Queen's Gardens, actually, but not into Deep Nest.
I wonder if maybe that was possible on an old version of the randomizer, but then when it was updated became impossible because TC did change a bunch of random geometry throughout the game.
It's the same problem as in every patch, I think. It's the very last ledge you have to get over before the final drop to the hot spring.
Yep.
And it's just too high.
There's that one, and then the one in Queen's Garden too. Just like right before you get to Deep Nest, you just can't do it.
Both the left and the right entrances to Deep Nest have a single block which stops everything. And if you were to take that out, Sharp Shadow would be accessible. But those shade skips are possible. We've tried everything. Do like that Muri is remembering to go this way. Checking Claw first is a soft block. It might actually be faster to come through Mantis Village, but I don't know. Alright, now each runner will have a stag station on the for that goal.
Yeah, that's right. Shaddy hasn't gotten Queen Station yet.
Yeah, maybe soon at least. Shaddy did not bring enough Geo with him.
Could we see? Could this potentially be a fluke seed still?
Oh, absolutely. It could. Now that we have Claw, that's on the table. So is Balder Shell and Soul Catcher too, which I don't think anyone is going to remember. For a while at least.
I like to go for Soul Catcher as soon as I know it's available because it's very easy to forget about that one later.
It really is. And you find Dive and Resting Grounds, and the last thing you think is, oh, I need to go back to Crossroads.
Right.
Oh, this is not it, Shaddy.
Oof. He's trying to get just enough Geo to be able to buy the King Station because he doesn't have enough right now.
He's really close too, but he's going to be ever so slightly short.
9 Geo short. Amazing. And Geo at Claw.
Yeah.
One step closer to Fluke Seed.
Pretty nice pickup, the 381. We've fallen so far that we're farming bench flies. Those will respawn. That is an infinite Geo farm if Shaddy wants it.
Where is Muri going?
That's a good question. Is he going back to buy Wraiths now that he has a lot of Geo?
Maybe? That seems questionable to me as well.
He could always shade skip here, but
that's
tough.
After
buying Wraiths, but that's not a shade skip I would do. So really weird setup for that.
Look like he's setting up for it, though, it looks like. He sat on the bench. We'll see if he can get it done. I really hate this skip with Wraiths.
Yeah,
It's so much easier with VS.
Yeah, there's a very consistent setup with Vengeful Spirit. You just have to not get a Shade Fireball, really. But with Wraiths, like, already you have a lot of problems because the Shade loves to cast its spell when you're above it. And the really long cast time on Wraiths means that it's really hard to set it up where the Shade won't float into you.
Yeah.
I think this is your Soul Catcher play, though, out of Shaddy. Which is nice to see him remember.
Come on, nothing. I want to see a Fluke Seed. Fluke Seeds are amazing. We never see them enough. There was a randomizer patch where Fluke Seeds were very common, and since that has been, you know, quote unquote fixed, we don't see them as much anymore. Makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah, a lot of the really interesting starts tend to be super rare.
Oh. Ooh. Muri almost dies and kills his Shade.
Did his Shade float into, like, the hitbox of Wraiths below Muri? I think that's what happened. Or maybe he pogoed it and I just missed the animation.
He pogoed it, so he must have damaged it before.
I would not go back for this. This is...
I wouldn't either. I think you abandoned this for sure.
Too much time loss. Okay, all spells. All level 1 spells.
Wow, interesting. Come on, Fluke Seed. Still possible.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of the rare and interesting starts are really, really unlikely to be forced. Stuff like having the Fireball skip across Queen Station, or, you know, do a unusual Balder Shell kill. Randomizer really just loves giving you color wings as soon as possible, not overthinking things. Alright, Shaddy.
Wow.
Headed into, oh, and Muri gets the
Muri makes it.
Good for him. Unfortunately, not very useful with the dive location, but it'll
You know,
save
I
him,
think he's going for the goal.
save him a Dark Room trip. He
He might just be... Yeah, he might just be rushing King Station.
Unfortunately, if he goes into King Station, it'll be really hard to get back up to resting grounds afterwards. So yeah, it does look like he's gonna go do the Dream Now pickup first.
This might lose him the left side of the board if Shaddy decides to go to Queens.
I think it will. Shaddy has a pretty strong incentive to head left here, but he doesn't.
Thinks about it, though.
Yeah, heavily considers it. I don't think it's a big deal to not go out of your way for Queen Station here, knowing that right side isn't very bad either.
I think you get the shortcut first. You just go this right side, get the shortcut, grab Queens, and then come back.
Yeah, I think that's the optimal way to do it. You know, balancing risk versus wanting to secure that goal.
Really interesting, though, that neither player has rushed Brooding Moloch. I think if someone really wanted left side of the board, they would have gone to that.
Yeah, Moloch is a much easier and more attractive goal than King Station, especially when you have the spell Shaddy has, at least. Yeah, Moloch gets absolutely annihilated by Vengeful Spirit.
Interesting. I'd be curious to hear what they both say about picking a side of the board, because they're both just avoiding it right now, it seems like. Or maybe they both want the right side of the board. I don't know.
Hmm. Like I said before, right side isn't bad, but I just don't see a way in which it's better than the left side. Like, Stag Nest could be really finicky, Coliseum Zote could take forever.
Yeah, 420 Rock needs vertical progression to get there.
Yep, 420 Rock, same requirements as Elder Bug, not much faster. Maybe a minute or two, and it routes in items, but still.
What was that, Dash Master? I missed it.
Quick focus. So 1/2 of that goal.
All right, and then Geo was at Claw. That's right. We've seen Muri go there.
Yep. Nothing too useful. We're counting on the 4 green path locations and Flute Bomb. I think that's it.
Come on, Fluke Seed. 25% chance now?
It's weird, right? Because we have 3 items in green path, which are Sphere 1, and then Alder Shell and Fluke Farm are Sphere 1 or Sphere 2, actually, because we don't know whether Cloak or Dive was first. So
Yeah, they're both, it's like Sphere 1A and 1B, almost.
Yeah, it's like two versions of the seed. One where the 3 items are weighted higher, and one where they're weighted lower. So
Yep.
we just don't know.
Yeah, Dive could have been placed first, and
Yeah, so
that might be intended progression.
So it's probably just best to say 20% for each of them. Though you could probably refine the math a little bit more. Who knows how randomizer works?
Picking up Shaman.
I like that. It's a really cheap version of it at 190 GL, and a huge DPS upgrade at this point. Even if you're not doing that much combat. Looks like the Soul Catcher check out of Muri now, so this will catch him up in terms of skills, at least. Not that VS is really doing anything, but Shade Soul is on the card. Looks like Shaddy's detouring for this corner first spot. Yep, that's his second, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe he is really considering column 5. But he's about to get the second stag, so...
We'll see if he marks it.
He sure does, and
Yep.
that will decide this race. Well, not decide, but at least we know what we're doing now.
Yep.
And
finally, half an hour in.
the early dive means that we're pretty much even. The big thing Muri has to hope is that Wings and Claw are both fairly accessible, I think. Even that's not really necessary. You don't really need more than 3 goals out of your own row.
Yeah, at least not for a very long time anyway.
Yeah. But, going for that 420 Geo Rock into Hornet too, be really nice play once they have, their vertical movement.
Yeah, very powerful play.
Whereas for Shaddy, I think the clear thing is to get nailed to. It's useful. It's the only goal he can get. You get nailed to into Hot Springs, I think. Or maybe that's diverting too much time from checking items. That's kind of a judgment call he has to make.
That would give some more value to the U strength that's in the shop right now too. Might pick that up, whereas, Muri's got Shaman Stone. Might make more sense for Shaddy to pick up Fragile Strength.
Yeah, I think so. For getting to Stag Nest, if you're trying to get up to it from Howling Cliffs, you're going to want to have wings. If you're trying to get there via Stag Stations, Claw or Wings is enough.
Well, you'll need to do a skip if you have just wings.
Actually, if you have just wings, it's going to be kind of hard to get. You'll need something else to get into Queen's Garden, but the skip itself isn't terribly difficult.
Well, I was saying the one in Basin. You'll need to do that weird shade VS pogo.
Fortunately, that one isn't required since that's DLC Stag.
I think it is required now. It used to not be, but I think they changed that.
I was informed in Discord that it was not required after I said during commentary that it was. So,
I'm pretty sure that's changed now.
That's what I said.
Because I think in Lifeblood they still hadn't updated that, but then with Godmaster coming out, I think they've made it a requirement.
Okay, well, that's the end of
damn it,
your hopes. Well, anyways then, if Hidden Station is required, then you'll need Claw and Wings, because neither of the shade skips to get up there are RTA practical.
Yeah. Either way, you're gonna want Claw and Wings.
Yeah, we're really not. It would be extraordinarily rare to see someone collect all the stags, because that is quite slow. But yep, so that's going to be nice for Shaddy. Yeah, Muri could have had that a long time ago if he had just come up from Queen Station instead of checking Green Path this way. Alright, Muri locking in his Zote. Zote will not die for him now. Thank goodness. Shaddy might be abandoning Zote with the squid out though. Interesting reversal though on Shaddy's part.
Is he just gonna go check Wraiths?
I can't imagine that. I think he's going to the Stag. No, Wraiths it is.
He might save quit back to that bench after this check
and finish Green Path out.
I think so.
Sense.
A little odd to decide to detour all the way down here, but I guess it's only like a couple transitions away from that bench, so not the worst.
No, and if you're going to check Green Path, you want to finish out of the Stag so you can move on to the next area.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to finish at Wraiths. But yeah, so I think the big things that we're still looking for are going to be obviously Claw and Dreamnail. Crystal Heart is this tier, not super important for the seed. Monomon's just a big thing for those, I think.
Just Fluke Nest at Hornet.
Yep.
Nothing important. Not on the board.
Not really, not great, especially when Shaman Sin's available. It does give a pretty nice power up to DS, but it has a lot of drawbacks too. Yeah, Shaddy actually really does need to find one of Dreamnail or Tier in order to open up that second column for him. At least with Love Key or Dream Trees.
I think if you're Shaddy, you rush Nail 2 now.
Yeah, I think that in Shaddy's position, you really want to take advantage of the early goals you were able to get.
Mm-hmm.
Since that's the trade-off of his column is having those better early goals and the worse second line. So you go for Nail 2, and probably even try and get something in column 3 before Muri has a chance to get on the board.
I don't know what you would go for in column 3. Maybe the Arcane Egg, actually.
Or Shade Soul, maybe.
I mean, we don't know where Shade Soul is, but...
Well, Muri just found it, so...
Oh, really? I missed that. Where was
Thorns.
It? Wow.
So Shaddy will have that as an option. That's... Yeah, the Arcane Egg would be available, but Shade Soul definitely is an instant goal now, so that makes Nail 2 even more valuable for Shaddy.
Absolutely. And then I think from there you... I would head to Kingdom's Edge, probably. Take away any incentive for Muri to go out there. And then that almost locks in the Arcane Egg goal for you as well. So it's like a 3-goal play.
Yeah.
Doing that.
You have a nice chance to snipe Hornet too if you get there first. And then, you know, you could even convert that into one of the column 5 goals even.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you go for Mantis Lords.
No.
For that snipe if you're Shaddy. I mean, I think you just abandon that one and concede it. You figure it's probably going to get marked soon anyway if you're him, so...
Yep. On the other hand, if you're in a position where, you know, you beat Hornet 2 and a minute later Muri marks the 420 Geo-Rock, you know, maybe you feel like you can get back there in time to snipe Mantis Lords. Mind games. That's everything this format is all about.
Absolutely. Especially since you're not directly competing with a ton of goals like you would in just base lockout. You know, where you're competing over literally every decision.
Right.
This is more long game, mind games, almost.
Yeah. In lockout, it really is about tracking where your opponent is at every possible moment to know what areas are clearing, what their strategy is, and how to beat it. Here, it's not quite as confrontational, but you more want to have in mind what shape you're trying to build and how your opponent can pick goals, which will make your life really hard. Like, there are a few critical goals on this board where the player that gets them will have a really good chance of winning. That's stuff like that easy Shade Soul we just found, just controlling the middle of the board right now.
Mm-hmm. The key difference, Zeno, is that in straight up lockout, you don't have to start on a side or anything. So you can get any goal on the board at any time, and so can your opponent. So Invasion puts a variation on that where you know, you're restricted in what you can mark. So that's what I mean is, like, you can compete over any goal at any given time, and there's potentially a lot more snipes in that game mode.
Right, and in Lockout it becomes really scary to invest time into anything because unless you're really confident that you have your opponent in check for the moment.
Right.
Invasion sort of gives each player their own territory to invest in, so they're not competing on every front at the same time.
It makes snipes in this game mode a little bit more painful though, because if a player's invested so much in their territory and whatever, and then that gets taken away from them, like it can really throw a loop on your mental game. Whereas base Lockout, you know, you don't put a ton of investment into one goal, but here where one goal can lead into 2 goals that you already have, I mean, a snipe like that can be enormous.
Yeah.
Snipes are less frequent, but mean more in this.
Definitely. Yeah, those goals in the middle of the board usually wield a lot of power. And so normally, you know, getting sniped in your home row tends to be unfortunate, but normally it's the consequence of a worse snipe, which you allowed to happen, you know, in your second or third line.
Yeah, the middle of the board is so important in this, absolutely. As much as you can shove your opponent into their home 2 rows makes a big difference.
Yep. Can't win with 2 lines alone. And not to mention, normally when you're pushed into a corner like that, you end up settling for some really slow goals.
Yep.
As a consequence. Okay, but Shaddy has picked up his pale ore. I think he has plenty of relics by the looks of it. He can sell the seals for 2,500. Might want to hang on to the journal. I don't think that's necessarily a goal he should be going for, but it's an option.
Yeah, I think you just do a sell all to save time.
Yeah, it would take so long to save that journal, and it's a goal which is actually really bad to get when you don't have Claw. Because there's a lot of fast journals which are completely claw blocked.
Yep. And it's on the other side of the board, and he hasn't invested much time into it yet, so I don't think you worry about it, really.
Yeah, like, obviously, he'll get Nail 2 and Shade Soul in just a moment, so yeah, he does have to think about Column 4, but at the same time, like, 5 Wanderers Journals is the kind of goal you really want to stick your opponent with, since then you're constricting their budget and forcing them to collect all those items, which they don't get anything for.
Right.
Hornet 2 is... it's a time sink, but it's a beneficial one. Since, you know, you're opening up items and checking Kingdom's Edge while you're doing it, and all that.
Muri getting another corner for location there in Crossroads, finally.
Is that a second?
I think that's his third? Fourth, maybe?
Oh, did he check Green Path? I'm honestly...
Yes, he did. So he's done Green Path, Fungal, Crossroads, and I think he did Resting Grounds as well. So he's got 4.
Okay, Muri did Fungal. I know Shaddy did.
Yep, they both did.
Okay, good. Then yeah, he probably only needs the 1 more.
Yep, Shaddy's selling all really quick. Just leaving.
That's a reasonable call here. This is going to be an annoying goal for Muri to get. Fortunately, he will have the one that's right here. But it's quite hard to make the numbers add up without being able to get that, the journal in Green Path, the one in Kingdom's Edge, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple of really quick journals in Green Path. Especially now that, you know, a lot of people are aware of the one that's just above the Fog Canyon entrance.
Yes. Well, that's one of the ones I'm talking about, right? Like, if you're not willing to Shadeskin for it, then you have to get Claw. So,
right.
There's a long time too when people didn't know about the one above the stag station in Green Path. That's incredibly fast journal.
Oh yeah, right by the hidden wall there.
Yep. Okay, so Shaddy already up to 4 goals. You'll see what he's planning now.
Muri finding nothing here in the crypts. So hopefully he heads to Kingdom's Edge, I think. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
like, how do you choose right now if you're Muri? Like, do you go Kingdom's Edge? Do you go Mantis Lords, which is still a very easy obtainable goal, but Kingdom's Edge has 2 goals out there right now?
I think that if you're Muri, you have to be really aware of this snipe opportunity which Shaddy has set up.
Yeah.
Then you have to make the judgment call of whether you think you can get there faster, especially knowing that Shaddy has this huge damage advantage with Nail 2 now, and Shade Soul. That being said, Shaddy isn't going to press the snipe here, so if as long as Muri moves, he'll be able to lock down those 2 goals. Maybe Shaddy is just trying to stock up a little bit more before going for bosses.
Maybe. Picking up Use Strength, I think, was the better call over Shaman, but
yeah, you can't equip both, so you have to
it's hard to hate on the Shaman pickup though, because well, it just gave him a notch because he got to 5. And, you know, it's Shaman and he has shade spells too, so
right. But if we were to think about this as just for the Hornet 2 play, like unless you're going for doubles, which is its own setup entirely, you'll get 55 damage in your 4-hit combo with Shaman Stone, and then, oh, I don't know, I forgot Nail 2, but I think Fragile Strength is adding more damage.
Probably.
Per hit from that. Okay.
Just get another notch, then you can wear both of them.
But which notch to get? Oh, Coliseum Zone, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But Muri is on the board now. And I think that this is a really good place for him to be. He can lock down a couple goals while he's here. After he gets the Geo Rock, that will... Is he going for Hornet 2 first, though?
It looks like he is.
A very strange thing that he did. He got the Pogo and then decided to jump back down. So he wasn't quite comfortable with the Aspid following him.
Yeah, once you trigger the Aspid, he will follow you over, even though it takes a while to get there.
Yeah. It's very hard to de-aggro Primal Aspids.
Shaddy, what are you doing?
Clearly, Shaddy has not spent much time running 4 Mask Shards. That way he could effortlessly do this Pogo without items. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Malik play. Getting a 3rd goal in his home row doesn't do anything. Since he's not in a position to get 3 goals in the second line, and Muri certainly isn't in a position to snipe.
I think if you're Muri, you're really scared right now of what Shaddy could potentially be doing to you.
Yes, I think that out of all of the possible things Shaddy could do, this is the one which Muri will breathe a sigh of relief over.
Yeah, so right now he knows that Shaddy's nowhere near Hornet 2. So as long as Muri doesn't, die once or twice to Hornet 2 here, he knows he has that goal and puts up a little bit of a shield to Shaddy sniping into column 5.
Yeah, and he'll be really close to Wanderer's Journals after he gets the one by the bench here. He has extra column 5 goal on the way out of Kingdom's Edge. This is all adding up to get Muri back into the race here.
Absolutely. Hopefully he marks this right away. Please mark your journal goal right away, please.
I think
We know that Shaddy's not going to take it, but if you're Muri, that's a pretty easy goal. I think you mark that one.
I think that if you're going to do 1 and 2, then you mark that, knowing that 5 Wanderer's Journals is the more annoying goal to get. The one with Shaddy is less likely to try to snipe. Especially since Shaddy bought nail too. Like, Muri might be feeling pretty good that Shaddy probably cashed in his journals for that.
I suppose. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to snipe a goal, Hornet 2 is probably the one. Otherwise, you'd have to go and get the 420 rock, which would add time before you can actually mark Hornet 2.
Yes.
Plus, we see Shaddy heading for Hornet 2 anyway, so...
Yep, as long as Muri doesn't die to this boss fight. Doing my best to inflict a commentator's curse, I guess, but... I think that it would be prudent to save a little bit of soul for when he does stun Hornet, and just heal up. You know? Speedrunners don't like to heal, but sometimes it's nice to not be on 3 HP. Yeah, it doesn't look like Shaddy is prioritizing Hornet 2, so he's not going to lose out too badly off of Muri getting this goal.
Shaddy knows now that Muri's out here. This is, I hope he doesn't go for the 420 rock, actually.
That
Shaddy now.
would be a huge waste of time at this point. He's not going to get that goal at all. Not to mention it would soft lock. Shaddy, no.
What was that 800 Geo at Dash Slash? I missed it.
I missed it too.
He might just be getting the Geo to be able to afford that after a save quit, but I don't like this.
It's Spore Shroom, apparently, so that is something what Shaddy wants for Column 2. He doesn't want it immediately, though, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that you do this.
Not sure that it's urgent enough to justify dropping everything to go get it, when it's, what, like, at most 2 minutes to get there from King Station?
Yeah, and what he's doing now is about that much time investment anyway, so...
Yeah, who knows where Thorns is. Yeah, not to mention that in deciding to commit to it, he set his bench there at Dash Slash, which is also bad. Like, the big time save in him not going for Hornet 2 was the fact that, unlike Muri, he'll be able to get out of Kingdom's Edge decently.
Yep.
Yeah, the Dash Slash bench always... I mean, there are situations where you have to get it, but it's not great. You don't want to get it.
Plus now Shaddy is just in such a poor financial situation because he has no relics. He has no money.
all the easy relics are gone, but
yeah.
Luckily he does already have Lantern. And like, it's kind of hard to imagine what there is that he'll want to buy that he won't be able to afford. Like, even, you know, a distant station or a city storerooms way down the line. Like, you can just grind Geo for that. I guess the big thing is Elegant Key, maybe. That's gonna be way outside his budget, if that's something. Oh, the simple key too, for the hot springs. That could be kind of annoying.
Oh, well, what do you do now if you're Shaddy? Just keep searching for items, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you do? I mean, you could maybe... You can't even really snipe the Wanderer's Journal one at this point.
No, I don't think so. I think that if you're Shaddy, you start you go back into item mode. You know, he wants to find Tear for the Love Key, Dream Nail for 4 Dream Trees. Sharp Shadow or Shape of Un would be a immediate snipe.
Yep.
So those are the priorities that you think about. Yeah, there's no way to finish the seed without finding several more items.
Oh, Shaddy.
Yeah, that's a really, really unfortunate death. Did not have the timing on that great Hopper Pogo. Elderbug is available to Shaddy. It would be a waste of time because he doesn't need a 4th goal in column 1, but he could absolutely shade skip up there.
He didn't need a 3rd goal in column 1. I think
No,
that's the reason he lost Hornet 2.
Yeah, he had a huge time advantage in getting there, not to mention damage advantage. But he went for Malik instead. That's kind of the start of Murray's comeback here.
Yeah, he left the door open, absolutely. Looks like he's going to go kill Hornet 2 anyway.
Poor Murray. Did he softlock due to Soul? I think we might have missed that. Yeah, that's always a risk when you come down here. It's really easy to do that. Okay. I think this is a good position, and frankly, even if it's 5-4, Murray has a much better board position, I think.
I agree. I mean, he's going to be able to get the Arcane Egg pretty easily here. So in a matter of 5 minutes, the power of the board has really shifted.
Yeah, that Abyss play is actually really heavily incentivized for Murray here. With the Arcane Egg to get him to go check it immediately. Oh, is Shaddy going to go for it too? This is interesting. Or is he just going for the Wanderer's Journals? And he has to have noticed that mistake now.
Looks like he's going to kill Hornet 2. This should be a quick fight, though.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a kind of situation where, you know, you make kind of an elaborate plan for sniping goals from your opponent, and it gets interrupted, and you're not sure how to recalibrate, so you just keep on going.
Yeah. I mean, he's here, and most people put off Abyss anyway, so if you're going to get a leg up on your opponent, who might not be checking Abyss for a while, even though Muri probably will.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something that people usually put off for the very end.
Which always seems strange to me. If King's Brand is such a huge time investment, I would think you capitalize on it as soon as possible.
Yeah, especially, I mean, he doesn't know that Shaddy's in Kingdom's Edge right now. So
yeah, Shaddy is
you think you have an enormous leg up with that.
But yeah, I think that if we're talking about where Shaddy wants to be right now, the densest item areas are probably Soul Sanctum, always Crystal Peak, of course, and Deep Nest is really good too right now, with all 3 items available. Abyss won't be bad either, though. He can also maybe route in Broken Vessel with it somehow.
Abyss used to have a lot better progression. I don't think it has all that great of progression anymore.
Yeah. Would be a lot better if it had all 4 charms randomized, but with just the 2, it's pretty mediocre. It's just like Waterways, you don't want to go to a long area just for 2 checks. And
I think you put the Broken Vessel play in there too.
Well,
check wings.
The problem here is that you have to back all the way out of wings to get back there, because you can't use the bench without
That's
claw.
right.
So
yep.
That's why I was saying before, somehow work it in, then I realized, actually, without Dram, that's not really possible here.
In before Claw is at wings.
But the bench only updates when you sit on it, though, right? So I don't think that would allow you to retroactively change your bench placement.
Right. Yeah. You'd still have to leave, but
It would
for the reason
still be a Galaxy Brain play to check wings right now.
Oh yeah.
And get something there.
Because exactly for the reason you stated, it's a very out of the way check. So why would someone go there?
Yeah, honestly, wings normally is one of my last checks I make, unless Broken Vessel is on the card.
Right.
Because it's just it's one of the worst one-offs in the game, frankly. Like
the only reason that I say that too is because Lost Kin is on the board. Killing Broken Vessel isn't really lost progress, because if you're going to get that goal, it saves you another boss fight later. So
yeah, and you open the shortcut, it's a really fast backtrack.
Yep.
You get the item now. But yeah, we have one-offs like Glowing Womb, which takes a while, and then there's Monarch Wings, which takes a long while.
Yep. Looks like Muri's not doing it, though. He's just going right to the abyss.
Yep, this is the right play. Don't even let that column 3 goal out of your sight for a moment. Because if he loses that now, it's basically GG. Even though
I don't know how Shaddy would be able to mark it right now anyway.
It would require Shaddy to be hiding something in his reserve from Muri's perspective.
But if you're Muri, you don't know that, right? Because you haven't seen a goal from Shaddy for a long time.
Right. For all Muri knows, Shaddy already has Love Key, and he killed Hornet 2 a second after, and then didn't go for the Geo Rock. Stuff like that can and does happen. So you can't be paranoid, but you have to be concerned whenever you don't know what your opponent is doing.
/ being found at Abyss Streak. Not useful today.
Not super game changing. Nail arts aren't what they used to be. They don't open doors.
I think we're probably going to see both of them turn into item check mode as soon as Muri gets this Arcane Egg goal.
Yeah. Muri does have the option of trying to finish off column 3 with the Hot Spring goal. Actually,
he could go to Mantis Lords, actually. I think I would clean that up.
Mantis Lords can't route it into Deep Mist, but I think Muri has a lot of good reasons to be on that side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't Namathity trying to play up the Deep Nest play, because that doesn't have a huge presence on the bingo card, but it does have 3 accessible items, all in logic and all with high item requirements, which get that extra progression bonus.
Yeah, the randomizer now likes to put stuff there.
It's really worth thinking about, because Weaver's Den and Sharp Shadow really get that preferential treatment, and you have to ask why we got Shade Cloak so early, if you want to read into that.
That's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, I was about to say, you shouldn't read into that too much, but it gives that fraction of a percent edge towards going into Deep Nest over going into Waterways, because Dung Defender doesn't get that boost.
There's the Arcane Egg goal. And Great Slash.
Alright, well,
we're in search mode.
Yep. Yeah, like Chad said, Thorns at Nailmaster's Glory would be quite something, but
that'd be amazing.
I don't think we've seen that required. No, I think we've seen Hive
Shaddy?
there.
Shaddy? Yeah, can we do a little pause?
We're
I
getting
need
a
to do
pause
pee
from the
break.
racers
Okay.
Yeah.
for reasons.
Let's see. They are taking a break.
A gentleman's break. BRB bathroom.
Okay. I will pause the timer. This is a strategy, you know? You wait until you think your opponent's in the middle of a stressful 1 HP boss fight, and then you demand that they stop everything for a bathroom break. So that when they come back, you've iced them out, and then they immediately die. This was a strategy Siplex tried to use against me. We were both going for Hive Knight at the same time in our race, and then he died to Hive Knight and asked for a bathroom break.
Okay, I'm back. We can continue. I'm gonna do a countdown.
And
if
we're
you're
back.
Okay with it?
Apparently.
Okay.
Muri is doing a
5,
countdown,
4,
but Shaddy
3,
is.
2, 1, go.
Crystal Peak is also not a bad play right now for Shaddy. Although, you know, it goes back to the same problem all the shops have, which is that they don't have nearly as much likelihood of having progression items as they do of having items.
Yeah. I mean, he could bail out after getting the key here.
And
Ooh, he might die
yeah, I think
quitting out.
Key into Deep Focus is a nice play. Maybe come back in for Descending Dark. Definitely wouldn't take the bench and go for Crystal Heart, since that's super slow.
I probably would, but I'm nuts like that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a gamble too, right? Like Crystal Heart, it's not super hard to get, but it takes a while. And so you're weighing whether you'll find Claw or Crystal Heart somewhere else to make that an incredibly fast pickup, or they could be right there, and you know maybe it's Claw at Crystal Heart and Crystal Heart up in Cliffs. And if you don't check it, you're just never finishing the seed. That's randomizer too.
Yep. It's risk reward. Could end up wasting 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go get it,
Yep.
but it could save your run. So
that's kind of part of the rationale, I think, for putting off Crystal Key. But yeah, one of the things that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, I think, is like it feels like Shopkeeper's Key. Well, that's 2 or 3 items, but then it really isn't. It's like a chance of a progression item, and then a couple items that were placed in during garbage fill. But then, you know, it takes one Mantis Claw at Shopkeeper's Key to change your perspective on that forever. So,
which happens. So
yeah, but I've had it happen.
plus, you know, there's Elegant Key as well
Yes.
to consider, which you almost want to get that before you go Soul Sanctum anyway, if you've invested no time in Sanctum. So
Yep. Of course, there's this bench at Soul Sanctum. I've heard people take the bench and then get Elegant Key afterwards. It's a really weird play. I don't know why you would do it, but
probably the guy that it's named after, I would guess.
Feel obligated to point out that it is a possibility if you like going slowly. "106% does a lot of weird stuff. They use City Crest. I don't think we should take their route as a role model.
Don't all 100% categories take that door?
Yes.
That must mean it's good, right?
I think that means the route is old. I'm not sure that means the route is good. That's always
don't
been my
know.
perspective on it.
If everyone's doing it, it must be amazing, right?
Hundo is one of those things where to do a fundamental reroute of it would be beyond thinkable. I don't know. Who knows whether or not it's faster. That right side
Everyone who runs
entrance
100% does.
that right side entrance is pretty good though. I have to say. It's faster in Elderbug. Did you know that? I even got X to use it over City Crest.
In Elderbug percent? That's not 100% though.
No. But it's like the exact same as 100%. Like, they literally both use City Crest to go to Soul Sanctum. Oh well.
Muri takes the lead with that goal, actually.
Oh yeah, actually. That puts him ahead 6-5. Shaddy's been very inactive since he marked Malik. Well, not really inactive, but he hasn't been able to make any headway. We'll see if these Mantis Lord items are anything.
If you find something here as Muri, I think you don't mark it. At least not for a little bit.
Yeah, it depends, right?
It depends on what it is, but...
If it's Dream Nail, then yeah, I think that you conceal that for a moment. If it's Isma, I think you can still go for Love Key. Maybe. I don't know. Like, there's a little bit of cross-section with Monomon, but maybe you don't feel like you need to conceal that as much.
Seeing some strange convergence here between the two runners. Just one room apart.
Shaddy has been doing a lot of this race, trying to make sure that he is always caught up with what his opponent has.
It's an interesting strategy, actually, to just
it's a
follow right behind your opponent.
It's a good way to mitigate randomization. If you feel like you can win off of execution, then by all means. You don't want to be checking different stuff for them. At the same time, you would kind of like to be checking stuff before them either way.
There's Heavy Blow.
Mantis Lord's not especially known for having lots of good items. At least in my experience.
I've been bitten in the ass by them before.
Yeah, they're good when you don't check them, right?
Exactly. And Claw's there. Oh my god.
Well, I guess I ran my mouth a bit too much there.
Wow, Mantis Lords never have anything.
Well, Claw is kind of useless, you know? I mean, if Muri really wanted to go get the Vessel Fragment and Glyphs, he could have just gotten it already. If he had Fragile Heart, he could have just gotten another mask. Do the Shade Skin.
Well, that fight's really quick with how kitted out Shaddy is, so...
Yes. And Shaddy will be very glad that he has followed in Muri's footsteps here.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think anyone else in the tournament follows the same strategy that Shaddy does. Like, he almost abandons whatever he's doing to follow the other player in checks if he knows what, they're somewhere else. We've seen it a couple times, and it's paid off for him multiple times too. So,
yep. I think the big
hard to argue against it.
Right, the big thing it does, I think, is Dream Nail, because that's so easy to slip through the cracks if you're not thorough. So, if you can kind of equalize knowledge on that perspective, you leave a lot less up to chance. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure what Claw is going to open up for Shaddy here. I think he's just gonna still be searching.
There was our last nail art.
Interesting choice by Muri, coming up to Sports Room, but then not continuing into Deep Nest. Maybe he wants to check Nailmaster's Glory immediately, even go into Cliffs. I think Cliffs is a pretty good play for him right now, actually.
Yep. Just shore up that last easy goal in column 5.
Yep. It will reveal Claw, but he doesn't have to mark it immediately. And he gets those 2 really fast item checks with it.
Yep. Plus, we know it's not going to make any difference anyway, because Shaddy's right here, but...
Yeah, but it could be a long time before Shaddy has a chance to reveal that he's been here. Oh no. Oh no, Shaddy has nail 2.
should still be able to get up here.
Yeah, it's a little trickier with the Mantis Youth, but very doable. Might want to be jumping a little higher on the left side to force it under.
There it goes.
Yeah, there he goes. Crisis averted.
Looks like we are going to get that play from Muri.
Remembers Nailmaster's Glory is now available.
Oh, Shaddy's got to be happy about that.
Oh my.
And Sharp Shadow. Wow.
Wow. I mean, Shaddy was never going to find that anyways without checking Abyss, but still. This sure is weird for Muri. Where is he headed?
He doesn't have enough. Oh, he might be checking Grubmaster. Or Grubmaster? What?
Oh, he's got to grab the grub. On the,
Yeah.
in the
Just
center.
going to get the last one here on the left and then head over there.
That's a good play. Really easy spot to forget. Yeah, that is an amazing turnout for Muri. I don't think he could have gotten that in a better location.
Seen an Elderbug quest here for Shaddy. If he doesn't die on the way.
Well, he went past it already, right?
Maybe he's checking this item he's already checked?
Well, he was
And then dying?
setting up a Shade Scuff, obviously. That's painful. That hurts. Yep, 7-5, but not anywhere near decided yet. The person who wins will be the one probably to make progress on Dreamnail. That's a big thing we're missing here.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, Dreamnail's going to unlock so much. I mean, Shaddy could maybe get Trader Lord and Elder, and he's going to do Elderbug, obviously, but yeah, I don't know what else they could even get. They're both kind of stuck until they just find stuff.
Yeah, I don't like this play from Shaddy because it is delaying finding stuff. Like, Soul Sanctum would be great right now. Yeah, even Waterways, Deep Nest, Crystal Peak, anything that's getting you closer to that. Elderbug does nothing. It's kind of pretending that there isn't a problem.
The only thing really that this will do is it'll prevent a potential goal snipe from Muri, but I don't know. I think you worry more about getting to his side than you worry about him getting to yours at this point.
Yeah, like if Muri snipes Elderbug, that's not very painful because you weren't getting 4 goals in column 2 anyways. And
right.
in column 2, that wasn't happening.
And if that happens, you kind of have a bigger problem anyway, because that means that he's found Dreamnail.
Yeah. Before you.
Exactly. Way before you, to be able to get that far.
Right, which is something...
I guess not necessarily way before, but...
But yeah. So... Yeah, I think that getting 3 goals in your home row is normally a pretty good stopping place. Past that, yeah, it's situational, but not usually not good strategy.
Yeah, definitely not worth investing a ton of time for. Making the skip look easy with Claw to get to
Yep.
deep focus, and
Claw
is rewarded with,
tons of leeway.
oh man,
The
80 Geo.
bad Geo pickup. That's the bad one. The worst. We decide that was Crystal Peaks chest? I think it is.
The 81.
Yeah. Crystal Peaks and
Um,
Green Path. It's hard
it's
to tell
either,
which one is ours.
I don't remember which is which. I mean, it's like 5 Geo difference, so who really cares? But
Yeah. Oh, are we going to see both racers head into Crystal Peak now? And it'll be much easier this time for Shaddy if that's what he chooses. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
yeah,
What was I thinking? Shaddy still has the flower.
just doing Flower Quest
I just
through Crystal Peak, you know.
completely fell asleep. But yes, if Shaddy was really feeling like a speedrunner today, then obviously all speedrunners effortlessly pick up every item in Crystal Peak without taking damage.
It's
Just-
not raw Geo that's randomized, it's Geo chests. So specific Geo chest locations. 6 of them, I believe. 7, something like that.
I believe it's so.
But I mean, we tried out the relics being randomized with each other, and it just, I don't know, it's not really fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Just the way the relics are placed, it's nice having them be predictable, and they tend to have pretty good geo value for how difficult it is to get to them.
Yeah, a lot of times you'd end up getting a ton of idols and eggs and everything, and so it made geo collection trivial.
Yeah. Like
and
the
pointless.
four arcane eggs are in the right place for arcane eggs to be. The King's idols are pretty good as well. Like
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time convincing people to do that because there's so many relics. You'd be adding what, like 60 checks?
oh, it's unreal.
It's an enormous amount. Like nobody's gonna get on board with that.
Oh, let me refresh that.
You'd be more than doubling the number of checks in the game.
And you have to consider that a lot of these relics have finicky shade skips you could do to get to them, and stuff which turns them not into like 30-second checks, but 2 or 3 minute checks.
Yeah. Plus the other argument too is that the length of randomizer is in a pretty good place. And to just add a ton of empty checks to have more checks would make that length insane and less predictable. Because right now you can hop in and do a rando in like an hour and a half. But you add relics to it, I mean, you're making it a 3-4 hour seed. And Muri's internet is down.
It sure does look that way. Yep. Murray's mentioning that in
Do we want to just stop the race?
I'll ask him.
Looks like he's back up. But at any rate, my party is leaving, so I need to
Okay.
duck out.
Well, thanks for commentating. We'll close it out from here.
All right. Well, good luck to the racers, and winner gets to face me, so I'll have to check the rest of the race later.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Yep, you too. See ya.
Hey, Shaddy, can you hear me? Yeah, my internet crashed, so I'm on Wi-Fi right now. I just need to switch phone to unplug the internet router, so yeah. Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay then. So we're just gonna wait a moment here. So we actually have something really interesting going on. Shaddy going for this goal in column 5. which he can't quite mark yet. All of the ads on Muri's stream. I'll refresh this completely just in case. Let's get some music going as we take our second break of the race. Oh, looks like Muri may be back online.
Okay, Shaddy, I'm back. Finally. Okay, wait a minute.
Maybe? Maybe? I hear voices.
Okay. I do the countdown.
Okay. This time it's for real.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so as I was saying before, interesting play by Shaddy coming for this vessel fragment before he can mark the goal. We'll put that in reserve for him. If he finds Shape of Fun, this will open up a pretty nice night, though. I think it is Strange Show because he knows that Muri has Claw, since they both checked Mantis Lords, and Muri marked Mantis Lords. So, kind of an odd use of time. I still like the Cliffs check, though. Oh, does Shaddy have Flower in reserve? Oh, yeah, he didn't mark that, did he? Curious. Oh, that could be interesting. Shaddy did deliver the flower, correct? Oh my, does Shaddy also have deep focus, quick focus? Um, okay, well, if he locked out of Stagnus Vessel Fragment, that's probably not a big deal for us. Since it's kind of unlikely Shaddy's going to mark that anyways, and there's Dream now. Wow. Crystal Heart at Joni. I thought Shaddy did the flower quest, unless he took damage here at the very end, but I don't think that happened. Oh well then, that's a misplay from Shaddy. Not a very costly one, but he really should mark this goal. Shaddy does not have 3 reserves, he only has Elder Bug and Quick Focus. He is locked out of Stagnus now. I don't believe Muri has any reserves. But he'll be able to move really quickly now that he has Dream now. Probably going to go for 4 Dream Trees next. It's kind of the logical choice for as far as the snipe is concerned. Interesting from Shaddy. Is this him going into, He can't get Love Key with this current. Oh wait, he can because he got Crystal Heart, so... That's probably also why he quit Deep Focus, to make resetting that a bit easier. Well, we'll see how that goes for him, see how comfortable he is with the Acid Skin. Oh, is Muri going for Lost Kin first? That's interesting. I don't think that's the right call, but it's defensible. Yeah, if he's going for the Acid Skip, that's why he has Deep Focus on. Little low on the first try. Nail 2 not making it any easier to farm for soul. Oh, that's a good height, and he does get it. Good for Shaddy. Okay. Well, that fixes the reserve goal issue. And gets Shaddy back into this, kinda nicely. He can just hazard spawn out of here, and that is what he'll do. Um, I think technically Shaddy misplayed there by waiting to mark Elder Bug until after he picked up Love Key, but it's not a big deal. We can't actually verify when he marked Elder Bug, whether it was before or after the pickup. But it sure would have sucked if he had locked himself out of 2 reserve goals due to that. Or 2 goals. Interesting to see Shaddy going into Deep Nest. We know one Dream Nail copy is out at Crystal Peak, which Shaddy's probably a little unlikely to return to, considering he had the awkward quit out from there earlier. Okay, so as Muri fights Lost Kin, Weaver's Den not looking spectacular, but steady body found. The other item is Dream Welder, so Deep Nest may have been a little overhyped. All the progression we were looking for was in Mantis Lords and Crystal Peak. Yeah, Soul Sanctum and Waterways are completely unchecked at the moment. Every other area has at least some progress in it that our members have made. Okay, Muri gets that goal, reveals Dream Nail, but obviously Shaddy doesn't have a clue that it's in the Crusher chest. That's a really hard one to guess. Oh, but Shaddy finds Thorns, so that's another nice pickup for him. That gives Shaddy a small lead, 9-8. Alright, so what is next for Muri? He has this Dream Nail. We'll have to see what he's planning on doing with it. Going for Tram Pass by the looks of things. Or maybe Coliseum Soap. Oh yeah, it is worth noting, Muri will be able to do Hera after this. Doesn't have Lantern though, so could be a little annoying to get over to her. Okay, so Muri marks that goal. And quits out, so Muri isn't going to be getting a Crystal Heart today. Probably didn't feel confident enough in the Dark Room to do it anyways, but not a huge deal, since it isn't required on the card for anything. I do hope he isn't thinking that he can do Monomon with this loadout. I suppose with Spell Twister and Sharp Shadow it's technically possible, but oh, did he find Isthmus? Where was that? Was that in Crystal Peak too? I guess? Interesting. I completely missed that. Maybe it was at Crystal Heart, and that was when his internet crashed. That would make a lot of sense. But, yeah, Monomon is great for him right now. Meanwhile, Shaddy is checking a place which we know has no items for him, so Shaddy has had a really good last 15 minutes, but it's swinging back over to Muri now. I don't know. Checking Shade Cloak won't take forever, but yeah, now that it's 9-9, we're down to the wire. 4 goals to win for both runners. Murray's most likely path to victory, I think, is Monomon and Dream Trees. Then Hera and one of these 3 goals. For Shaddy, Trader Lord is an option, Hot Springs is an option. Then he kind of has to find Dreamnail or get Shape of Up. And maybe Zote? I don't think he even saves Zote. In other words, it's 9-9, but it's not even. Dreamnail is a much bigger find than Crystal Heart. Okay, Shaddy did save Zote. Well, that's good at least. He didn't save Soap while he was in DNS though, so not all good. Muri attempting this current patch Umu fight. We'll see if he can get the Shade Soul 2 cycle. And he does. not too hard with what he has. Alright, and this is going to be one more goal for Muri. There he goes. So at any given moment, Shaddy is probably about 5 minutes away from getting to that Dream Nail in the Crusher chest. I think that's a good way to think about it. But so, right now he's about to check Monarch Wings, which we know isn't going to be what he needs. Meanwhile, Muri headed to King Station, which is an interesting choice. Hot Springs, maybe? And, ooh, Shaddy taking a really unfortunate death to Broken Vessel. Oh, yeah, maybe farming for Lantern? That would make sense. Alright, Shaddy is going back, so... The Geo doesn't matter because Shaddy obviously has bought just about anything he could possibly want. Only thing I could even imagine is if Elegant Key is Shape of Art. I don't know if Muri can feel confident that Shaddy doesn't have Dream Nail. After all, Dream Nail wasn't in an especially hidden location in Crystal Peak, and Muri doesn't know where the other copycat is. So, like, we know that Shaddy is doing checks which are useless, and he hasn't made much progress in the last few minutes, but that isn't something Muri could reasonably conclude. So the best thing for Muri to do right now, in my mind, is to press his advantage with the easy Dream Nail goals while that's an advantage he has. Like, checking items just gives more time for Shaddy to equalize things. Oh, and this is looking rough for Shaddy. He's coming back into this with the exact same health he had last time. Doesn't open the shortcut or anything. He may be feeling a little tilted. Okay, but the second try, he heals a bit, he gets through the fight pretty easily. So, Shaddy will get this one check. Oh, it was Shopkeeper's Key. That's devastating for Shaddy. Dreamgate was behind Shopkeeper's Key. So both Dream Nails and Crystal Peak. Shaddy could have had that half an hour ago if he hadn't had that spike tunnel quit out. Or I don't think it was even in the spike tunnel. I think that he quit out after because he took too much damage. Okay, so what is next, Muri? Has a very limited window right now to get Dreamnail goals, knowing that both of them are going to be fairly accessible. You can't reasonably expect Shaddy to stay out of, you know, even the entry to Crystal Peak for that long. Yeah, Shaddy not having the Geo to get out of basin through the stag, so he's going to have to climb, or maybe even he's got to climb. Okay, so Muri could check items down here. I don't think that he really needs to, though. Probably would be best served just rescuing Zote, defeating Hera, grabbing the hot spring, and moving along. Shape of Un is a potential goal for him, but it's checking for it isn't faster than just getting Hera at this point, in my opinion, when you have wings. And of course, to mark it after Hera would require him to full clear Zote anyways, at which point you could just get all the hot springs and finish that way. So I don't think searching for items is necessary if you're Muri. You have the tools you need to finish. Not to say he won't, but... And actually we see he's not even going for Zote. May feel like it's just as easy to backtrack from distant station. Which is perfectly reasonable too. Watcher Knights out of Shaddy. Very curious. Is this a desperation play? I don't know why he would think Muri checked this. This isn't a place people check, normally. Oh, he might just be full clearing all of top of the city, but... This is interesting, since we talked about Shaddy's previous strategy was follow in Muri's footsteps. Whereas this is a very, very unusual check for anyone to make. Alright, that's Hera down from Muri. That brings him up 11 to 9. Really just looking for Dream Trees and Hot Springs to finish now. Maybe even Trader Lord. Basically, whatever Muri wants to do now, he's pretty much free. Shaddy doesn't have a strong counterplay for those 3 goals. Well, I guess Shaddy could probably rush Hot Springs right now and take that, and then go for Trader Lord afterwards or something, but Muri would still be in a commanding position. Muri returning to Deep Nest to rescue Zote now, it looks like. I like the 1 essence farm off of the Gravedigger. It's kind of an abominable thing to do if you think about it, but you know, sometimes you just have to Dreamgate back to Deep Nest, I guess. There's no feasible way for this to get to 12-12. Although, I will admit, Muri has been making kind of a strange play on this 4 Dream Tree goal. I would have expected him to get that a while ago, since that's so fast and easy. Colosseum Zote is not fast or easy, though he may just be going for that because it's safe. And there's no chance whatsoever of Shaddy sniping that. Not to mention it routes him well with Hot Springs. Yeah, if Shaddy bought the simple key here, all he would have to do is get Crossroads and City of Tears, and then Colosseum. That would get in Hot Springs. Oh no, he doesn't even have to buy it, he already has the simple key. Maybe the one from Basin. But yep, so Muri's endgame strategy is now pretty clear. It should take him maybe about 5 minutes or so to get to Colo from here. Getting the 3 Hot Springs along the way. Then Colosseum 1 with Shade Soul will be pretty trivial, I think. Not to mention D-Dark too. Yeah. So I think Muri has this pretty well in hand. Let's switch audio for the final bit of it, so we could hear all about this Colo performance. Oh, Shaddy also going for Hot Springs now. Unfortunately, it does appear to be too little too late, unless we're having substantial stream delay. Okay. Yeah, Muri has about a 30-second lead on this, maybe a little bit more. So, and Isva's tier is actually going to be huge in terms of getting up to Kalo. So, Shaddy might be able to do the hazard respawn to take the same route, but Muri will still save time in that room. I rather suspect Shaddy does not have the shortcut open since he quit out there. Oh, the Tower of Love shortcut? I guess he does. Yeah, he came down that way. Interesting. Okay, so this will actually equalize a little bit. It would be nice if Muri wouldn't take so much damage here, but yeah, Muri still is slightly ahead, though he is getting lost right now, and it is not looking good for him. Okay, he found his way. Yeah, doesn't look like either of them are super comfortable with this room. Oh my, this is going to be quite close, but it'll come down to whoever marks it first, and Shaddy does mark it, so... Muri just wasting too much time on the way over here. He had some pretty subpar movements. Took a lot of damage. So that's unfortunate. It's also worth noting that Shaddy only questionably should have been able to mark that, since he probably should have been forced to forfeit the love key goal, but that's neither here nor there. So now this is an interesting position. Muri is going to spend a lot of time on this Coliseum 1 goal. Shaddy is probably going to spend a lot of time on Trader Lord, and at the end of it, Muri will still have Dreamnail, and Shaddy still won't have Dreamnail. Muri, what are you doing? Get the one on top. I swear, you think these people never fought Coliseum 1 before. Nah, as an any percent runner, Muri seems to have limited familiarity with this. Which is okay. Oops, my bad. If Shaddy had saved the deep nest, then he would have not sniped Muri at all, since he would have been a minute slower to getting to the hot spring. So that's worth considering. Once again, I would like to see players keep a little bit more than 3 HP because I cannot help but watch and expect it. Like, look at that. What was the point of that dive? Like, you can't kill Vengeflies without using dive. Really? Is that what you're trying to tell me? When he could have used that soul to heal. And instead, he's on 2 HP against Vengefly for no reason. Like, what is this? I am disappointed. Alright, Shaddy, meanwhile, on his way into the second arena. Also looking a little sloppy, but he should get through it, I think, with Shade Soul. Why? Why are you on 2 HP, Muri? This seems preventable. That's what I think. Okay. Get safely through the exploding grozzers onto the final boss of Color 1. Double Grozmother. I'm really bad at double Grozmother, if we're being honest. But it's not terribly hard with Shade Soul. Muri barely surviving that. If that Grozmother had had just a little more HP, she would have gone right into him and sent him back to the beginning. But it does appear that Muri is going to get by even after everything that happened in this. Okay, Shaddy needs to be really careful. He is on 1 HP, and it takes a long time to get back here from the bench. Might not be a bad idea to use Shade Soul instead of Abyss Shriek. It does cut your damage down by quite a bit, but it's a lot safer to use. Alright, fortunately it does look like Shaddy is going to get through this fight safely. This may be the first successful Trader Lord fight we've seen in the tournament. I know we've seen a lot of Trader Lord deaths. We must have seen one or two. Meanwhile, Muri making his way back to King Station, and now it's gonna be pretty straightforward for him to finish with Dream Trees, as long as he can figure out where they are. Looks like he is going for the one in Basin first. Sticking the landing a little bit. But he does make it to the bottom. Alright, Muri started this with 1 essence. This particular Whispering Root has 35, so we'll know he's finished when he has 36. If he has 36. Muri has missed one already, I believe. No? Yep, he got that one. I'm sorry. I was apparently not paying close enough attention. Okay, looks like Crossroads will be next. Be starting this one with 36. So, hoping to see 65 at the end. That's good. Yes, poor Muri. Not only does he not know how to run Zoat percent, he also doesn't run all Whispering Roots. So we're seeing some truly tragic Whispering Root collection here, but that's okay. Everyone can't run everything. And it looks like he is going to skip Mound and go into Fog Canyon. This one has 18, I believe? No, 20. Right? Yes, 20. So he started with 65. Let's see, 85. Let's also not die, please, Muri. As Muri leaves a Dream Gate, just in case this Whispering Root proves too powerful for him to overcome. The last essence is in the top left, but can Muri find it? Yes, he does find it. And it looks like he's going to finish with Mantis Village. Axe says it is definitely faster to do this in the claw route than Mound. That seems highly questionable, but we will see. Yeah, I can actually see it a little bit. The Mound route is quite slow, especially without Crystal Heart. Really, the question we should be asking is why didn't he do Deep Nest route? But oh well, alack, alas. Muri should be done with the race in just about a minute or so. Yes, Resting Grounds would be an extremely fast option for Muri. Probably should have done that instead of the Basin Tree. But a lot of people seem to think of the Basin Tree in this situation because it is familiar. You know, no one ever thinks of the Green Path Whispering route, which always makes me sad. You know, that could be a fast Whispering route too, you don't know. Well, anyways. GG to Muri. Congratulations on a match well won. We'll put the music back on. We'll see if either of our racers want to join for an interview. Yep, a really close race. So I think that's our third, 13 to 11.
Yeah,
Hello.
GG.
Hello.
Oh.
I won.
Ah, good job.
By the way, Shaddy, do you know that you sniped me the take bath in all 4 hot springs? You sniped me at like 2 seconds.
Don't know. I think the biggest thing was for me that I almost died to Crystal Peak thing. Never found Dream
Oh.
Nail. I could have I needed the Dream Nail to get out of
Yes.
my home room.
Well, Dreamnail
Yeah.
was at Shopkeeper's Key and at the Crystal Peak chest, so you
Yeah,
missed both of them
stupid
that way.
chest. Mhm.
Yep. So that was really terrible thing. I did Mantis Lords right after you mark it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Because otherwise, I was when I found it, I thought to myself, Shaddy will never do that. So
I
so
did for no reason Hornet 2 after you marked it, so that was stupid from my side. I had to
yeah,
leave.
yeah. You never know if Claw with that on it too.
Yeah, so I went
behind
to
him.
Abyss, did the Abyss, died to Broken Vessel, haven't
crap.
unlocked. Yeah, so I played really not good. I had some bad decisions. And
I think I played okay in terms of like pure execution. Routing was very shaky at first. Probably Yomotheli has a bigger picture about that. I don't know how about the race.
I think both of you had decent routing throughout. Obviously, Shaddy had the much stronger start. Up until about the time when Muri went into Kingdom's Edge.
Yeah.
That was when I think. Well, that was when Shaddy went back for Brooding Malik, and Mick and I were both pretty skeptical of that. Going after Malik was what allowed Muri to get, Hornet 2 and the Geo Rock, and really bring himself back into the scene that way.
I think I'm really happy. I mean, if I lost, I think I would have probably been. I wouldn't have been disappointed. It was a very good race. So
This
in
was
the end,
incredibly close all the way through.
yeah. I mean the hot springs. I was mad. I was really mad. I was like in front of the Coliseum bench when you marked it, and like I was about to dip in the fourth.
Okay. At least I did something. They said. Also, I made 3 reserved goals with Stagnus Fragment because I found Claw and I went to Stagnus and I found there like a Deep Focus and a Crystal Heart, so I postponed.
Yep. So you locked yourself out of Stagnest. You also may have technically locked yourself out of Love Key. Did you mark Elderbug after you picked up Love Key?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I marked it like immediately.
Before? That would be the right answer. It's okay. I didn't think it was a big deal. Since obviously you marked all 3 goals at the same time anyways, but if Mick had still been commentating at that point, maybe he would have brought down the ban hammer.
Yeah, probably yes, because probably the biggest part really that I missed almost died to Crystal Peak. That was awful.
Yeah,
I was practicing this and I don't know, couldn't put the things together.
Yeah,
I guess.
Backing out of Crystal Peak was definitely a big turning point, because you would have had Dreamnail first otherwise.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
And I could probably get something at least like Dream Trees before, and actually force Muri to do the Traitor Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny that we both went for our, let's say, furthest goal. Like you did Traitor, why I was doing Colosseum Zone. So it was
Unfortunately,
really,
Toad was dead for me, so
yeah. I
it
figured
happened.
I stated. I thought about that. I had a race against Cyplex where he told me exactly the same. So maybe when Colosseum Zone is in my home row, maybe I will not do that right away next time because it's just a lot of people just don't kill Van striking and then log themselves out of the goal.
Yeah, I was hoping that you like haven't rescued him too, and that will be a tie because you couldn't like mark the fun, but
We should have
not the case.
discussed that earlier, I think. Oh damn! Yeah, I had a very lucky thing. Do you know where Sharp Shadow was?
Yes, I found it. Like, but
Yeah,
I forgot
because he
to.
went in the abyss.
I forgot to did this check. In.
Oh really?
I did it like in the end. I forgot to grab the sports room check, and I was there like 3 times maybe around. So
That is
thing. Also, I forgot
that
to
is
unlock.
unfortunate.
I forgot to unlock the shortcut to Mantis Lord, so I had to do a loop around.
Oh okay. Oh, that is bad.
So yeah, and I went for Hornet for no reason, absolutely no reason to do Hornet my side. I just decided that I have like all the abilities in the world. I have Shaman Stone, I have like a lot of the DPS, so it will be quick.
I thought that maybe when I went to Kingdom's Edge, I was thinking about which goal should I mark. Should I mark 5 Wanderers Journal first because I had it first? But then I thought to myself that you needed money for the nail too, so maybe you sold everything. And so if rushing on it toward the priority and then have Wanderer's Journal in reserve was better because you probably didn't have any at that point. I don't know if you kept some.
Only where I kept something, like it was Shade Soul, and I kept the thing when I reserved too much goals with Stagnest. Like I decided that if I mark the like Elder Bug Flower right away, you will get that. I already have.
You thought that maybe I did Mantis Lords, but didn't go for the checks.
Yeah, so actually from my side, I guess the misplay was with Hornet too. I wasted too much time on it, honestly. And apart from that,
I didn't
like I was training you, I guess. I died randomly multiple times in this race. So.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that. That I've been able to never die.
Really happy that Shaddy died.
yeah, I am. And I will probably never do Clawless Shadescape to Restaurant Grounds ever again with a Wraith. That was really hard. I don't even know how I did it the first time. When I passed it, I think the first time I failed it, and the second time I succeeded. But I succeeded. Sorry, but I should have not succeeded, and I was really lucky.
I guess I was baited by the board. Originally, I wanted to lock myself in right side or at top.
Yeah, right side was better to me. I didn't like the column too, actually.
So yeah, but first roll was okay, but like the second roll wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Because of like you require claw or like our dream nail or ismas or like a lot of stuff to do something, and this terrible thing with thorns, like where like your second roll, even the random checks were like good. Sharp Shadow, Shape of Fun, like
I don't know where was Shepavan.
I don't know either. Have no idea.
Yeah.
So I think we can check my blog, but
Yeah, I can check right now.
So the worst thing I guess for me was this Crystal Peak Abandon for so long. Instead I went like into Deepness, into like Abyss.
Deepness, yeah. Ooh.
So
went there
if
really
I
late.
had this Dream Nail, I would like claim the like Dream Trees because it was. I guess I could get this before you for sure, but
Yeah.
Also,
if you
like
want to feel better about yourself, I lost my own prediction.
It's fine.
You didn't have enough confidence.
Yeah, I think that was a misplay on me. So where was Shape of Moon? Let's check. Oh, Soul Master's chest.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just wasn't getting checked with the paths you guys took.
I was avoiding density areas for so long, so
yeah, me too. The beginning I was like, you do this weird thing where you like try to get a lot of gold but never actually get any, and you also never get a lot of checks either. No, it's like that indecisive moment where you I don't know, you're just thinking, and so you don't really do anything. And then when you have a better, like, I don't know, better direction, you know which goal to do, which tech to do, then you begin to be way more efficient. I think that's why early game is so hard. You need to choose.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Not sure why. Like I still like I did some floppy things, I guess, in the beginning too. I went to unlock King Station, despite I was going for the right side of the board.
yeah, I did the same. I think when you will when you watch the race again, I think my early route after getting the mount was really strange. I went all the way to Queen Station actually.
Yeah, that was sort of weird.
Yeah.
Not continuing into fungal or green path afterwards.
Yeah, that was also dumb because so I didn't not doing fungal was okay, I guess, because I wanted to go to the right. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna leave that for when I go to Mantis Lords. But then I don't know. It was dumb because I should have gone all directly to Cerebras and check like the usual stuff, shops and everything. So yeah, but I could have beaten Shaddy to King Station plus Queen Station if I wanted to get it. But I really hesitated when I was in the catacombs and the resting grounds. I really hesitated to go down and actually get King Station. But I think I didn't have enough geo, so I thought to myself, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have enough geo, and I had to farm Husk in City of Tears.
You got gadgets.
Like that was bad. I'm not even sure if I want to rewatch this, but it's kind of painful for me. Anyway, thank you for race, and thank you for the commentary. We'll have to climb my way from the losers bracket.
The bonus bracket.
Yeah, I think it's winning against you and then getting destroyed by Mick. I don't know. I don't know which I prefer. Losing in the first round or the second round. We'll see. But yeah, thanks a lot for the restream. I will watch the next race.
Okay.
GG everyone. We're gonna take 10 minutes, switch out the stream and switch out the commentary, and we'll be back with the match between XTU and Sean PR on the hour.